Really live. We're now officially live.
All
All
right,
right, guys.
give me.
First rule of thumb. Let's try to keep this down to at least 20 minutes, just for editing sake. It'll be easier for me. Less than
That's
20
fine.
minutes is most appreciable. You guys can all see the stream now, right? Yeah. Who's not viewing?
Yeah.
We have
Just watch
we have
stream. We have
Javon
a-
and Darius are not viewing, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. Javon's coming back.
Javon said he was coming back. I have no clue when though, but tell me
Yeah.
it's next few minutes.
Darius, are you on mobile? Or are you on your computer?
I'm on my computer.
All right.
All right.
Do you know how to watch a stream, or are you currently watching right now?
Yeah, I'm seeing the stream right now.
So you see like the little chart or whatever? Right
Yeah,
there?
I see like the sloth, the rat, the envy.
Okay. Good.
Daniel, is his first language not English?
Bro, what the fuck is that kind of question?
What the fuck kind of question is that, bro?
I'm
No,
asking
we're
his
sorry.
first
Yeah,
language
Darius, I'm
is
sorry.
English.
Evil's kind of a
Literally not
special.
even-
It's all good. It's all good. My first language is Marathi, but like I grew up speaking English since I was like 3-4 years old because I was
Okay.
born and raised in the
I was
U.S.
just curious.
You speak English
Yeah.
good though. Like you don't have any like weird
Yeah,
slurs.
that's
or
what I'm
anything.
The thing
saying.
is, I lived outside of the country for some time, so my accent is sort of like weird, you know?
You're like Daniel, I guess, because Daniel speaks he speaks a little bit of Farsi, but he speaks English really good as well. So you can't really tell right away.
English is my first language. So
I see. All right, guys, we're gonna get started without Javon real quick. Are you guys ready for the discussion? We're gonna go in order, by the way. So first thoughts first, we have sloth. What is sloth?
Alright.
You guys know what sloth is?
Slot, being lazy, not doing your duty.
A lazy
This is-
piece of shit. Now,
Evil, get off Fortnite, bro.
yeah,
I'm
so
not
I'm
on
sloth.
Fortnite. Shut up.
Stop being a
clown.
sloth,
Shut up,
Evil.
clown.
Stop being a sloth. Get off
Shut up,
Fortnite.
clown.
Shut up, sloth.
Where's
So
your
I,
car
I,
at?
I have 3 tires. I have bad, abysmal, and life ruining. So
This whole life.
let's try to think. Sloth, right? In my personal opinion, I think sloth might actually be life ruining.
I actually think that'd be life
Yeah,
ruining
it
too.
is.
I
Yeah, it
legit
is
think that's like one of the
life-ruining.
worst things.
It is. It's
What a
laziness.
fun life.
Like you're not doing anything. So I mean, you can't. Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
self-explanatory.
bad in the sense that like if you like just like keep doing nothing for long enough, by the time you're like 80 or like 60 years old, and then you want to do something, it's too late.
You just
You-
can't do
you
it.
spent too much time
Not
being
just
fucking
80,
sloth.
like even earlier than that. Honestly, like just like, you miss out in your 20s, 30 years old. You're like in your mom's basement, and you have nothing for yourself.
All right.
Your 20s
So
supposed to be
let's
the
put
best
that in
years
life
of your
ruining
life.
here.
Isn't that what they say?
What was that?
You're literally.
And
Your
then-
life-
Don't they say like the 20s are supposed to be the best years of your life?
I think we all know that, but yeah.
Apparently, but I'm not feeling it. 20 suck.
I mean, I think if you really work hard, 30s are probably going to be the best years. But we'll see.
I don't know, man. Whatever.
No, your youth should always be spent in a proper way. Like, you know, you guys are in your 20s right now. You have all the energy. You have like a good
the time.
body. Your health is
Yeah.
good.
Uh-huh.
So you should like use your youth in a wise manner, right? It's not always
Yes.
about fun. It's always about like what do you do in your life that, you know, helps you, that makes you a better human being.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you have all this potential to do so many things. You can be anything you want.
And that's the
But,
advantage
I mean-
too. When you're younger, you have the potential, bro. Like you have like so much
Yeah.
time to like mess up, fail, learn, and then
Bro,
get
you can
better.
do anything. You can literally do anything you want.
Yeah, I was telling
Totally.
Evo last night about how like eventually if you wait too long, you'll fall into a slip of life where you just can't like escape at all. Like you'll be stuck
Yeah.
like one job like forever.
Of
basically.
course, like you ask anybody who's old, pretty much like, what did you wish to do in your life when you were 20s? Like, what could you do if you go
Yeah,
back?
they all
You know,
say
they
some
give
shit,
you a
bro.
bunch
They
of
all say some
answers.
Yeah. And they're like, I mean, most people never achieve their dreams, but that's why.
It's
you know,
not even that. It's like they all had certain dreams, even if they achieved it, but it wasn't like, you know, when they grew older, it wasn't what they actually wanted in the long run. They realized
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
when
Some
they came
some
in
like
age.
millionaires or whatever. Some like really rich people are like, I regret working so much. I wish I'm spending more time with my family and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, there's people who just
You
work.
need to find
too
a
much,
perfect
like,
balance of work and
Yeah.
being able to live
And life.
One of the
Work life.
biggest
That's why they
regrets,
say
man,
they
like
say
not
work life
spending
balance.
enough time with your family. That's got to be one of the biggest regrets you could have because you can't ever get that back.
And honestly, like, isn't like life doing life certain things also kind of work in a way because you're working on certain different things in life. You're not just working on work, right?
No, yeah. There's always like always slow times between, right? There's always like times go out, eat. You need to eat, sleep, and do all those things as well. And during those times, like live a little, go out, and to Starbucks or whatever, or meet some new people or whatever.
Honestly,
basically, bro, if you're a sloth when you're 20, or if you're a sloth right now, then it's gonna affect you in the long run because you're not gonna achieve what you want. By the time you're 30, you're gonna have a lot of regret. Like, I wish I did.
I think we should move to Abysmal then.
I'm team Abysmal. I think it's just
if
bad.
you're a sloth right now,
but you
can change. Eventually, you can become better and not be a sloth.
Wait, why do you like Abysmal?
I mean, on top of that, you also got to realize that, while everybody can be super duper successful, not gonna lie, this might sound really fucked up, but some people can just be content with the little shit that they have.
They are, bro. The other day I was at Macy's, right, trying to get a suit, and I was getting a suit, and this guy was so happy. He was 50, 60, kind of, and he looked like he was so happy to assist me, just working there. He was having a good ass time. I didn't tell, it wasn't even fake. He genuinely felt happy working at Macy's. Yeah, and I'm like, shit. I mean, if that's what makes you happy, man, then go ahead.
Yeah, but bro, the guy who's working at Macy's, he's not lazy. He still gets up in the morning. If he was lazy, he wouldn't even have the job at Macy's. That's why being a sloth is still life ruining. You shouldn't mistaken contentment with laziness.
I guess.
But then sometimes being content and being sometimes not gonna know sometimes being lazy is when I say is what people need, it's you find what you want by being lazy. So it's not like this. That's why I think it's just Abysmal, because some of these other ones are just way worse.
Things don't fall in your lap, though.
You can say it like that, but it also depends to what level of laziness are you talking about?
Because extreme laziness is crazy. Me and 350 and sitting in the crib all day is insane.
No,
but
the worst kind of laziness I've seen,
bro, everybody is lazy to an extent.
Are those fucking 20-year-old kids living in their parents' house in their basement? That's the worst kind, bro. How do you have no ambition to fucking get out of your mom's house and do something with your life, bro?
Yeah.
Those guys are the worst.
I'll tell you a real story about this one guy. He's content and he's around 40 years old, okay? I know him. He's my friend because he used to tutor me in math, and he's living in his parents' basement, right? He's paying rent.
40?
He's 40 years old, and I'll tell you his story, right? He had a very, very good score on his SAT. He went to the University of Maryland. He majored in mathematics. And yes, he's content with, what he does. He's just a math tutor. He goes, he tutors kids, he gets money. And, all the checks the parents of those kids write to him, he's so lazy. He doesn't clean his car. He doesn't even take those checks to the bank on time. He takes a bunch of checks. He goes to the bank, probably once every 5 months, and he just dumps it. And he's on his computer most of the time in his parents' basement just playing video games.
Literally. World of Warcraft? Warcraft?
No, he plays Civilization 4, Civilization 5.
So he's playing the game of life, but in his basement.
Yeah, pretty much. And I asked him, bro, you could do so much more in your life with your knowledge, your money. You could help people. You could help your family. He says, no, I'm content. But think about this. He's so lazy. He's living like it's 1980s.
Yeah, he's doing the bare minimum.
Smartphone.
Literally doing the bare minimum to live.
So at least then, at least from that story, which I'm assuming is real, it doesn't really sound like life ruining. It just sounds like a life not fully fulfilled. Really, it just feels like he's not homeless or anything, right? He has a job and everything, to eating food.
He has a job. He's doing work.
It could just be better, but it's not life ruining.
Your actions today also determine the long run, right? If you're saying it's abysmal right now, then in the long run, what happens when his parents, when they die, he has so much, he has to worry about all these financial expenses. He's gonna have to worry about other things. He's gonna be alone.
In that scenario, if he does stay.
I don't even know. I honestly can't even imagine being
Imagine how bad loneliness is in America.
It is. It's really bad.
He's not. He doesn't even want to get married. He doesn't want to have
Like
children.
nothing. He doesn't have any like desires or anything like that to do anything but just sit in his basement and just play games.
I did. I asked him one question. You know, his parents recently they visited Latvia, which is a country next to Russia, right?
Okay.
I
Right.
asked him, your parents travel to all these countries every year. Do you at least have any interest to visit any of these countries? Like, bro, you know, if I could visit like countries like Greece and Spain and see
I
all
would
of
jump
these
all over
beautiful
that, man.
things.
That'd be amazing.
But he said, you know what his answer was? He said,
What was his
you
answer?
know what? I can just see it from the video games I play. I can see these countries virtually.
What?
You can't
That's
be serious.
that's an
And he
illusion.
says he's
Living-
content with what he has.
That's
I
literally a
don't
lie. That's an
understand.
illusion.
In my
Wow.
opinion, that is life-threatening because if you don't know your purpose in life, you're doomed forever.
Yeah,
In
you are,
his view,
really.
it might not be life-threatening, but from the outside, the reality is that in the long run, you know, you live a life without purpose. You're gonna be alone. You had the chance to help, you know, make your life and other people's lives better. God put you on this earth for a reason, and you're just wasting your life like that.
Honestly, we literally what the reason we are created is to serve and be able to serve our purpose to God and to other people and make other people's lives better. That's why we're created. So
Exactly.
when we just like refuse and abandon that, like you're no different from other people who are doing other things like that are bad. Like you're purposeless. Like why are you created, man? Why are you here? Like
Yeah.
I'm here to
But-
sit
but-
around
but
and do
the
nothing all
thing
day.
is, though-
Eat chips all day.
useless. Chips. Yeah.
Okay,
I
but
mean,
like,
shit. He's making the chips companies feel better. I
okay,
guess.
but there's gonna be people like Final that need to be NPCs. Like we need NPCs
Oh,
in the world. to make
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That is
NPCs,
true.
bro.
We do
Okay.
need people like Final. We do need people like
You
Final.
wanna clean a
We
toilet?
should- Nah,
He
nah,
doesn't
nah.
even
We definitely
stream any
need
of his
NPCs.
videos, bro. He's just doing it's just between him and the computer, whatever he's doing for the last 20 years in his parents'
I couldn't
basement.
see anybody doing that, man. I would just get sick. I would get like physically sick from doing that. It can't be healthy at all.
But he is doing
Like, that
something.
kind of
He's
lifestyle-
he's not completely doing nothing. He's doing something at least. When I say
I-
sloth, right? When I think of sloth, I think of people like who depend on their friends, their parents. They always depend on someone else other than themselves, and they always try to take the easy way out. That's my opinion, my definition of sloth to me.
But he's a pretty big sloth because like here's the thing, back in the early 2000s when I knew him, he used to drive to other kids' houses to tutor them like all these different subjects,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Now he's become so lazy that he doesn't even want to go to people's houses and tutor them. He does it online through Skype, and it's only because of his laziness.
So here's my opinion, right? I think sloth can be life ruining, but only for long term though, not right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
of
yeah, so
course.
that's
I
why-
agree with that. Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
think so? In life ruining?
Yeah, I think life-
I think it's still life ruining. Yeah.
Long term.
No. Are we ordering the tiers or are we just like putting
I-
the tiers?
No, we're ordering everything. It's only 7 sins, bro.
I
we
genuinely,
have to
I
order
genuinely
everything.
think it's life
Yeah, yeah.
ruining though.
And
All right.
by that though, let's move on to the next topic for wrath. Right here, we have wrath over
what
here.
does that? What does
All
that
right.
generally mean? I don't get that one.
Okay.
I think honestly,
I
like,
think
wrath
wrath is
really-
life.
Wrath is anger. Anger
Yeah.
is also life-threatening.
I
and-
think it depends because honestly, like I feel like anger itself, it can, if you control it the right way, can be a good emotion to be used to like work hard
It could be a
and
fuel,
be
yeah. It
successful.
can fuel you up a little
With
bit.
controlled anger, but when you don't control your anger, that's what's truly dangerous and
You guys know
harmful
that
to
you guys know
society
that
and
anger
to other
addiction is a
people.
real thing, and it's actually really bad in most of like older people.
Bro, wrath is not just anger itself. It's a lack of control. That's what it is.
Lack of control. of your emotions.
Daniel, the thing is, all 7 of these things, it all has to do with control. Everybody,
Literally.
you know, every
Yeah,
human being
They're
has
all honestly
wrath.
life threatening. They
laziness.
really are life ruining, honestly. But we need to I want to have it so to the tier list system how easy it is to fix. Like if you have one of these things right now, how easy it is to fix. So
Okay,
sloth,
we'll
right?
do it after. We'll do it after.
Wrath,
Yeah.
in this
I think-
context, wrath is just not control. Everything here is like what you cannot control. Okay,
Wrath
because
is
let's be
very
honest.
vague. I don't really get
If
that
lust
one.
did not exist, we wouldn't be born, right? It's like everything has to be properly done in life, right? Everything has to be balanced out. If you're not greedy at all, people will take advantage of you and take all
Exactly.
your money,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Wait, is that why it's called the 7 deadly sins? Because
That's why, because there's a line like that has to be balanced out.
It's okay to have most of these. It's okay to have all of them.
So they're specifically deadly because they're not specifically catered to some people, but everyone has to have these things at a certain extent. That's why.
No, the thing is, everyone has them, but it depends. Like, there's a line that cannot be crossed.
You have them by default when you're fucking born. You already have these sins already.
Exactly.
Like, determining on how your life goes, you might like lean toward wrath, maybe, or gluttony or pride. You know, like, it depends on your own life.
Depends on your principles or whatever religion you follow. There's certain like boundaries, parameters that should not be crossed. Because if you cross them, then it would make it like a deadly sin.
So then,
you know,
on that point, let's talk about wrath. So wrath, right, by definition, it mostly is associated with violence and unruly control of your own emotions, right? Let's say you come home from
extreme
work.
anger,
I would put wrath
taking
honestly,
your anger out on
I
other
would put that and just I'll just put it in bad. Honestly.
No. I would say it's
Abysmal.
life ruining because I'll give you my reason. Because the thing is, I've come across people in my life who are very short-tempered. My own dad in the house, he throws things at me. He threw things at me and my mom. He's not living with us anymore. But the thing is, when people come to know of this character of yours, nobody wants to get along with you. If you're like extremely angry and you just take your anger out on people, nobody wants to talk with you. Yeah. And if nobody wants to talk with you, you don't have any connections in life to succeed. You don't have any bonds. Then you can't look towards like friends or family to get help from them when your times are bad. So that's why it's life ruining. It will ruin your life.
But it could, there is like,
it depends. Honestly, I feel like you said, everything depends on what level of it is. But like, let's say the basic level of wrath, right? Like you can have sometimes can be short tempered, but like for the most part, you're not. What about that?
Look, in some ways, it can be good.
That he's talking about, it would be life ruining if you're talking about it the way you're talking about it, because then he would.
Wait. The way he's talking about it though is the most extreme. That's like
that's the 24/7
remedy. The
24/7. If we're talking about the most extreme,
these are like the most extreme.
They're all life ruining. If you're doing the most extreme, all of them are life ruining.
They're all life ruining.
I mean, I don't know about envy. Is envy life ruining? Is the most extreme?
I don't even understand that. I'd have to get.
We'll get to that.
But let me talk about wrath. Well, like another thing, sometimes you can get angry for a good reason, right? Like, for example, I've been extremely angry in my life whenever I saw like innocent people being killed and discriminated in other countries. And I took my anger out on certain people on social media who were supporting these type of injustices. So it affected me as well because like you are what you are. In the end of the day, how you portray yourself.
I mean,
it doesn't necessarily mean you're bad.
Sometimes like the intentions, like you said, your intentions were really good, but like what the anger caused you to commit a useless act. Like all you did was just like waste your time talking to some people on social media that are not gonna like affect anything.
Exactly. So, and that's why I want to give this example real quick. Let's imagine like someone who's wrathful, right? Who's very wrathful. What is the like best thing to do, right? Is to fucking cut them off and not talk to them ever again. Your problem is now solved. Even though they're really wrathful, I mean that's up to them. That's their life. But like the fact that they're wrathful and you can just cut them off immediately because you can spot it immediately, right? If they fuck up like 1 or 2 times, you can spot it immediately. This is why wrath is just so extreme and like noticeable that no matter like how like bad your life may be or how good life may be, you do not need a wrathful person in your fucking life. That's why if you're a smart person, you will cut them off entirely. And that's why I think wrath is bad.
It's life ruining though, because if everyone's gonna cut you off in life, you're gonna be alone.
Yeah, I mean that is true, but I feel like it depends. Sometimes people like can just like be like, yeah, that dude just had a one short-tempered moment. Like he just needs to cool off. Like sometimes people understand.
We all fuck up every now and then, right? We get a little wrathful every now and then.
Yeah, but like I guess it's sometimes like when you go too far, like you start saying personal shit when you're like so enraged that you start like saying really personal.
And then
really
like in the next day you regret it. You regret it, man. You don't like own up to it. Most people regret like wrathful moments that they have, right?
Yeah.
And that's why for this tier list, like
it's also true. It's also true because a lot of other sins, right? People won't admit they have the sin, right?
Exactly.
But when people are angry and they lose control, they're like, oh shit, I fucked up. They're not gonna deny it or anything. They can't deny it.
And that's why moving forward for this tier list, I want you guys to just think of all all aspects of levels of like the sin. So for sloth, think of it extremists, like a little bit, like a little bit medium, like high, medium, and low. And think about overall, like what's really like bad for you overall. You know what
I mean? I think Wrath could be abysmal. I think Wrath is
abysmal. I think it's bad because like you said earlier, bro. Like if you're mad, you direct your anger towards something good.
Bro, going off of what you said you would cut them off, right? If they were that wrathful, like if they were in that bad of a state, right?
But I mean, we would cut off anyone for any of these things if it's too extreme. Like literally,
I understand like the far extremities, but I'm talking like, what if they're like super special to you, whether they're either family or a really close friend, and they happen to get this way? Would you still cut them off?
You either help them or you fucking leave them.
What I'm thinking about a mom is, if a mom loves her son or daughter, right, and that person is extremely wrathful to the point you're talking about, right? They might love them unconditionally and try to be there for them, but if they're very like dangerous, right, to their life, like threat.
That totally makes sense.
That mother might try to distance themselves from that child.
But I'm saying like certain events can trigger this to be extremely bad. Like I'm saying in the far extremities, like a single event, it doesn't even matter. It could be to somebody. That event could trigger it being on the far end of the extremity. Like it could get so bad to where you would no longer want to be around them. It'd have to be very specific to the person or the actual event to trigger that sort of like reaction.
Ugh.
I don't. Oh, I don't know.
Well, you guys
understand what I'm saying?
You guys think Wrath?
Not really, honestly.
Yeah, first impressions do matter, right? Like if you just come to see someone, let's say you're in your job, and all of a sudden the first day you see they're extremely angry and all that, you're gonna have a bad view of the person automatically. It's
definitely
psychology.
I remember like
I
remember like
I'll be down later. Sorry.
Yeah, I remember like my friend's, dad. I don't want to like name names, but like I remember that back then the first time I heard of him, I heard he was like angry or something like that. And for a while, as my childhood, like I thought this kid's dad was like really like an angry and strict person, right? But then after a while, like after a long time, it took me a long time to realize, man, this guy's actually really chill and he's a really good guy. Like I just remember just that one thing, that one little thing I heard as a kid.
Wrathful moment where they slipped. Yeah.
Of him being mad just stuck in my head for so long. Like you just remember, like other people remember that so much. It's crazy.
All right, here. Let me try to explain what I was saying earlier.
I think Abysmal is good. I think Abysmal is good.
All right, wait. Fine. Let me try to explain what I was trying to say earlier. I think I did a bad job at it. So what I mean by like an event, like say I don't know. Say like you stayed home and then your family went on a vacation, right?
Yeah.
And then say they took a flight to somewhere, and they died in a plane crash. Would you not be consumed with wrath for however long you may live because that happened?
Yeah.
Either wrath or sadness. You would be consumed with that forever.
Yeah,
because
not forever though. You have to move on eventually, no?
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything?
That's the thing, though. That event can be so like damaging.
So okay. So what you're saying the traumatic experience could cause you to be wrathful as a person.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yes.
So
I did a bad job explaining.
What I say to that is that any of these things, obviously everything is like traumatic experiences that happens in life, right? That's just reality.
Yeah.
And that could be the case, but like it is, there are sins and you need to get over it. That's why this whole life is a test, and we needed we have all these challenges. Like if it was all easy, then I don't think that many people would be going overboard.
See, in the end of the day, even if those traumatic experiences, with the example you gave, like of a plane crash, even if that changes you as a person, you still have to, understand that you're affecting other people who had nothing to do with what happened in your life. You have to take the initiative to change yourself. And
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Exactly, you gotta put yourself straight. That's
the real test God gives you.
Exactly, that's what I was saying. God gave us a brain, and He gave us the potential to change. We can become anything we want. So if something happens to us, we have a brain, and we can control it. It might be hard sometimes, right? A lot of things can be really difficult, but we can, if we pursue it and we really want to change, a human being will change.
Exactly.
Like, I know, my dad has a lot of issues, some issues that he, has, and the thing about him is, a lot of people like get upset about some certain things he does, but I said, just Dad, please, just these two things, these two minor things you do, is like, what's it called? Don't do it, right? And everything will be like 99% of like the problems of the house will be solved, right?
Yeah.
He does not care enough. He does not want to change. He doesn't want to admit that it's a problem. He doesn't want to change. He's just gonna be like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll do it. He doesn't care. See, if someone truly cares, they will change. It's just that's just how it is, bro. No matter what you say, but I'm ranting. But let's move on.
How about we move on to envy now? For
envy, yeah.
I think envy can just be classified as bad. What do you guys think?
I feel like envy is just bad. It's not really that bad.
Yeah, I mean envy.
Because honestly, envy can be a source of motivation as well. If someone's doing better than you and you're envious of them, you can be like, fuck this, I'm doing better in my life now. I want to.
Yeah, I think the only problem with envy is that sometimes, like, especially in like religion, they say like, don't be envious of like someone who has more than you. Yes, I think it is good to take in motivation from envy to be able to like work harder and be able to get that Bugatti or whatever, right? But if that's all you're consumed with in your soul is just consumed with envy and like materialistic things, then you become consumed in a worldly point of view.
And that leads into the next sin, greed. Now, fellas, I'm gonna say this right now, right? Greed, honestly, to me, I think it's abysmal. I just think it's abysmal.
I think it is abysmal. It is abysmal because like you said, hedonistic stuff. It never stops. Like how many more? How much can I spend?
It's never enough. Yeah, it's literally never
enough. Never enough.
But at least your life is being benefited though during that process.
It really depends.
It depends because sometimes literally there are so many bodybuilders that have died nowadays, especially recently, because of steroids and heart attacks.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, they've been getting heart attacks, and like people have been like, "Damn, this sucks, man," because like. I have to get bigger. Then I have to get bigger. It's just so much. And then it's like, how much can the human body hold? Like, it's crazy.
Once you get trapped in that loop, it's very hard.
Yeah, and then you're just dead. Yeah, but like that's the thing.
But Xander, regarding envy, right? Like you know what I'm about to say. It really depends on what level someone takes it. Let's say that you
are overall, the most extreme and the less extreme. Combine both of those two experiences, right, of envious of a person, and just trying to see how bad overall it is, if you combine them both together.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had an very, very extreme case of someone who was envious.
Oh, really?
And I used to be engaged.
Darius, you seem to know like a lot of cases. Holy shit.
No, because I actually experienced this. I used to be engaged to this one girl, and before I was engaged to her, I used to like this other girl, right? So the thing is, it was kind of a love triangle. The girl who liked me was envious of the other girl, and you know what she did? She went to great lengths to destroy her life and ruin her life.
Yeah, people will.
And she not only did this,
that is true.
There were other women as well, and she destroyed their life, not just because like it wasn't that they liked me, it was just that she was jealous what they had, and that all came back at her in the end in a very bad way.
Are you talking about that one girl you said that was injuring herself just to like marry you or something?
Yeah, that's the girl.
Oh, I remember that you were like before COVID. I remember you were like all upset when I met you. You're like, "Fuck, I guess I gotta engage her now." That's done now.
Yeah.
That engagement is over because I exposed her. But the point is about someone who's envious. She had a lot of that, and that ruined her life completely. But that's her own fault.
Yeah, but
so it really depends.
But remember though, all these sins are by definition they are life ruining if you take it to the extreme.
Of course.
I'm trying to go into like the thought process of like these sins and just like these people you see every now and then. Someone in the subway, someone maybe a customer at work. Like if you can like notice it right away, how noticeable is it? And do you think?
If you say like generally speaking by consensus, to what extent does it damage society?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, society. Yeah, exactly. Society. If you're a fucking wrathful person, bro, it's abysmal. You're literally affecting only a community, not really like the whole nation, but like your community though, at least
Of course, yeah.
Close to you. If you're envious. This really only affects your personal circle. Because why would the fuck would you care about someone else who's like more rich than you, unless you like some kind of like personal attachment? Unless like they're so like bragging a lot, then you'd be like, all right, now I'm envious. You know what I mean? Like you just try to think think small first, and then think if they starts small. What happens if it gets bigger and later on in life? So if you're a slothful person younger on, and you keep being a slothful person later on, it's gonna be really life ruining. That's why I put it up there. Because
That's true.
It's literally your life is being wasted away, bro. Your life is gone by the time you're like 40 or 50. Yeah.
Well, like, what are you even at that point? Like, it's
If you are envious, if you're envious at your 20s and you become envious still in your like your 40s, your life isn't really going to be that much of a like difference unless you're like stupid. Like, you know,
Can you be envious for
that
really
one girl,
that
like
long?
that one
I don't
girl,
feel
yeah,
like being envious would last that many years.
Exactly, yeah. Envious,
Like it's
can't
something that
that
lasts
long.
maybe like a year or two at most.
Unless you hate someone that much, it won't really last like that long. Exactly, yeah. You know.
Yeah, I just don't see it ending up ruining somebody's life because I don't know anybody who could be envious for that long.
Yeah.
A big period of time.
So that's another point. That's actually a really good point. So also think about the sins of them and how long they like last in people. Like someone could be wrathful for one night, you know, next one be like, I'm sorry, blah blah blah. They're normal the next 4 months. Someone could be envious for 1 week and then like, you know what, fuck this, I'm normal now. Someone could be a sloth their entire fucking life until their last breaths in the fucking hospital bed, and then be like, "Oh my god, my life is now ruined. My life is fucking ruined." Yeah, exactly. It's terrible.
You didn't do anything with their life.
Yeah. All right. So
100% in the right category.
So are we all good for envy being on bad right now? At least.
Yeah, I take it in bad. It makes the most amount of sense.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
All right.
So now we have 4 more left. Let's go on to greed.
All right.
All right.
I would honestly put it in bad. I don't see like
greed
is that bad because I see greed as being
no what
something. Think about it like this: if you want more of something, the something could be like good. Like say you want more money, and you keep trying to get it through like working hard, doing shit like that.
Understand? It's not that simple. It's not that simple because it's about a mentality, right? If all you're doing then is focusing on greed and just getting money. You know, Jeff Bezos got divorced. He has no family. I remember this guy I knew, like Raul, right? He said, if I had to like trade lives with Jeff Bezos, I wouldn't do it, bro. Because he has no wife, he's not married. I'm happily married. I'm living a good life, and I'm enjoying my time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it takes away the balance. It's greed. I feel like greed is like the opposite of sloth, right? You're ruining your life in a way that's like now all you're doing is working. You're not. So it's like. It's in the opposite side of the spectrum, right? Literally, now that's also ruining your life. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as sloth because at least you're contributing to stuff, right? But it's still for your own soul. It's terrible. So I think I wouldn't put it as bad as sloth, but I would say abysmal.
I would say abysmal.
Why do you see it as being like life ruining? Like what could be so bad about
it's not life ruining. It's not life ruining. It's abysmal.
It's your own soul. I said it's like,
not life ruining.
It's life ruining to your own soul, but like you're not missing out on contributing to other people. You're contributing to other people, but you're not contributing to your own soul. So that's why I say it's abysmal, not completely life ruining.
Okay, I can agree to that. Yeah.
All right. I also agree that was really thought.
I would also say it's abysmal because generally speaking, you look at like the type of society we're living right now. Most people are very greedy to the extent that they don't even give any charity. They don't have any principles. They don't follow any moral code anymore. They just care about themselves. They don't even care about their own families.
That's the way most people are in society isn't now. You don't see most people donating to anything.
Yeah, so that's why it's abysmal.
People are selfish. It's really sad. Like you will not see anybody helping anybody out because they're selfish and they want to keep everything to themselves.
Exactly, yeah. That's the reason I would say it's abysmal. It still affects society in a very bad way. It has generally speaking, it has a reverse turn on society. It's not bad, it's abysmal in the sense that you walk past someone who's poor. Right. For example, in Arlington, in Virginia, there are a couple of nightclubs and there are a couple of homeless people outside of these nightclubs. It costs $15, $20 to get inside these clubs. With that money, you could give a homeless person some food who hasn't eaten in 3 days. But what? Exactly. No, you want to be greedy and you want to spend it on your own
club and,
selfish desires. Go to a club. Exactly. So this is why it's abysmal. It ruins society this way.
But I feel like that's the way the society as a whole has become. Like, I don't feel like society.
We shouldn't compare.
Our society. Hold on. Have you guys seen those social experiments where they go and like try to like be like pretend as poor people?
Yeah, I've seen plenty of those.
There's a guy. There was a guy with like a Bugatti. I don't know if it was a Bugatti or what it was, but like he was like, I don't have any money for gas, bro. I don't have anything. He's like, nope, I don't have money. It was crazy to me, bro. And like that dude got caught on camera, like being a piece of shit, a greedy piece of shit. So yeah.
Oh, you mean those people who like fake being homeless?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's fucked up,
that really greed though? Is that really greed?
It's crazy. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? There's poor people that barely had any money were like crying and giving the guys that were pretending to be homeless have money. The poor people were giving money. The rich people were like, nah, I'm good. I don't have money.
Yeah,
it's one of the sickest things you can do,
it's
man.
so fucked up, man.
That is.
So I was like,
in my area, we have people who pretend to be poor and homeless, and I can tell them.
That's exactly, Daniel. Yeah, that's true.
I don't understand.
There's some evil people in this world,
bro. Have you guys seen? Wait. Are you talking about the people like in the Texans area, right? Where like they're in the road. They're in the road, bro. Fuck those guys. They go in the middle of the road and then they're like walking in the middle of the fucking road, like in the middle of the cars.
Like with cars. Yeah, that's
Daniel, do you know how I know that it's fake though? Because every time I go to work every day, I go past that same route. You know, let's say on Mondays and Wednesdays, I see the same person. Then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I see the other same person. And they switch locations all the time. And on top of that, one of them I actually gave $50 and some food one time. And he acted like it's nothing. You know, he was very... Yeah. So these type of people give the real homeless people a very bad name. And that just messes people's image about homeless people, that they don't even want to give money in general. You know? That's how bad society is. So the thing is, bro, we shouldn't mistaken this type of society which we live in as overall that's how the world is. No, like Andrew Tate says, you go to a country in Qatar, you can fall asleep with $1 million in your lap and nothing will happen to you. It's
all because the minds of people, bro. Like
it's the mindset that matters, and we live in a country that's based off of
in
like,
Japan. No one kills anyone in Japan. You know, there's no murderers in Japan at all. Everyone respects each other in Japan. But here we have in America, fucking little kids, 15-year-old kids in fucking high school is killing each other. That's not acceptable.
Honestly, the thing about Japan is I don't like that either, because in Japan it's like everyone's kind of like an NPC there. It's really like just really quiet, and it's honestly that's just too much. But like you're right, the mindset people like in Qatar or whatever,
the culture,
like it's amazing because like here everyone's just so greedy, so selfish. It's amazing. It's insane to me. That's how fucked we are. Like, and this is why I want to move out of America.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm sorry to cut short, but we are currently at 37 minutes. Let's try to get the next 3 out of the way. Sorry about that. I think gluttony, though. You're all good for gluttony? I think gluttony, honestly, is bad.
It's
the lowest tier of the deadly sins. Because you know why?
No, I think it's better than it's worse than envy. It's worse than envy.
You think it's worse than envy?
I would say it's life ruining, and I'm only talking based off statistics. 60% of the people in America are like obese or overweight.
Right.
You know.
Wait, like, even in 20, even now that there's still that bad.
Yeah, it's still pretty bad.
But wait. I'm coming from a pessimistic mindset, right? And I'm also realistic. If someone is gluttonous, right? Let's just say like entirely through food, because gluttony and greed you get mixed up a lot in between each other, but mostly gluttony is associated with with an abundance of stuff that you already have, whether it be food, money, or whatever. What is a fat person really going to contribute to society? You know, in their 30s or 40s, nothing really. Yeah, not a lot. Most of these fat people, you know, unless you're the CEOs, whatever. Even then, if you're someone's a CEO and you're fat, they must be doing the work. But if you're a fat piece of shit and you're working at McDonald's or like Target, like you kind of deserve to be there. So I feel like gluttony, honestly, like it's completely your own fault. Like you, it's entirely your fault. You know, like there's no excuse.
Most of them are, yeah. Except
there's no excuse to be gluttonous.
Yeah.
Look, like I'm reading this one report from 2017. 400,000 Americans die every year from gluttony and from unhealthy eating habits.
Would you rather the genes be passed down in the family tree? Would you rather that?
And you know what the thing is?
I think it's better that they die off. I think it's better.
Bro, I go to a fast food restaurant like once in a long time, right? And I'm like, holy shit, this is what people eat every single fucking day. And every time it baffles me. I never stop getting surprised at how people eat this every fucking day. And I'm like, yeah, but and the thing is, my dad is very overly sensitive about.
But they choose to eat every day. They choose to. That's why it's
exactly.
so fucking bad.
Let me finish. My dad's overly sensitive. He's like, don't eat this, don't eat that. He's like, annoys the hell out of me, bro. It annoys everyone. And he's like, don't eat this, don't eat this. And I'm like, Dad, listen to me. The reason why you're reading this article that fries gives you cancer is because these people literally eat it every fucking day, like 2 times a day or something. And I'm like, holy shit, man. That's all they eat. Gravy, this, like all ice cream.
But Daniel,
candy,
you have to understand, bro.
Hold up. I think I saw a statistic somewhere about. I gotta figure this out. I know I saw a statistic somewhere about America and something.
Daniel, you have to understand one thing though. Like, it's not always the people's fault for eating this type of food.
No, you're right. If you go to the
US,
South,
the US in particular is known for like just giving people junk food, selling it at a cheap price, and making other things expensive. Like McDonald's is so cheap, but like think of the people, the common man. That's basically what they can afford, and that's only what they can eat. You know, it's a sad thing. There's a lot of corruption in this country.
Exactly. That's what I like about Chick-fil-A, because Chick-fil-A, honestly, like, it's not healthy, but like,
I disagree on that. I have to disagree on that. You know, that point about how it's affordable, quote unquote affordable. Listen, man.
Yeah. Even nowadays, fast food is expensive. Hold on. And what I was gonna say is that in the South, like, let's say like South Carolina, like, have you ever been to South Carolina, bro? There's so many fat people there. Like, or like, probably in the Midwest, I don't know, but like in the South, there are so many fat people. Like,
yeah.
And it's crazy to me. They don't even know. Like,
I want to say this real quick though.
Evo, how about you give us a test? How about you give us your experience? You said people don't even know that's fat. They think it's normal. They think it's normal.
They think it's normal, but I snapped out of that reality and realized it's not okay and it's not normal. It's not normal for me to like want to eat all this garbage food and want to be fat and want to have health problems, because in the end, that's all you're gonna get. Like, true, it might taste really good in the end, but I had to realize that the hard way, because I was at one point really obese, really fat, and really unhappy. And I would just keep doing the same thing over and over again because I thought it would just make me more happy. No, it just drove me worse and worse. It just drove me into complete depression, and a lot of other bad things happen. But you got to realize you got to get yourself out of that scenario.
So I'm talking about
watching what you eat. In the end of the day, it's all about, you know, mental discipline, controlling yourself, controlling your worldly desires.
It's your choice.
Literally having a fucking brain. It's basically just having a brain. Like, you see, like, the whole thing. Yeah. The whole thing with don't vape, and he's like, breathe air. Don't vape. He's like, literally all these chemicals, and people just see, this, let me just do it. Like, they don't even think about anything that goes inside. It's not even about vaping, it's about food too. You even think about what goes in your food at all. Like, for like, they don't even, not even a second of thought at all.
You guys
about what goes in your food.
But Xander,
they say read the label for a reason, bro.
But Xander, like, the thing is, the only reason I said it's life ruining is because, like, if you're just gluttonous, you do take a lot of years, like, away from your life, right? They're like, it can also contribute to, like, making you lazy as well. To an extent. What's that? Your stamina.
Lazy and gluttony and sloth.
I said this to Darius, right? If a fat guy died compared to, you know, like Mr. Olympia, if their genes are both like the last genes on Earth, whose genes are gonna fucking transfer to the next generation? The fucking fat piece of shit or Mr. Olympia? The gluttonous person does not deserve any kind of sympathy at all, because you know what? Unlike height or age or whatever, you can control.
You chose that lifestyle.
You can control your fucking your
99.9%, because there's like
you can control it. You can change, but people choose not to. They choose to eat McDonald's every fucking single day, and they choose to fucking be fat pieces of shit. These people do, like, to me, like, honestly, it sounds messed up, right? But these people, to me, they are like the lowest of like scum to me. Like, they're not even like really like human, unless like I see them like changing.
Alright, bro.
Wait, let me continue. Some people who are fat, right? Like, unless it's a medical condition, if you choose to be fat for that long, in my mindset at least, like how could you be okay with that? How could you be?
No, they don't give a shit. They just don't give a shit.
And feel nice
they
about it.
Don't give a shit.
They're
It's
literally
the way
fat
that they are
supermodels.
grown up.
They're fat
Evil.
supermodels. How is that even possible?
We have someone right. Yo. Hold on. Evil. You are fat, right? So how about you give us the entire
No, not fat. I mean like obese, like it really big.
No, okay, but it's similar. Evil, tell me your
be a little chubby.
Like,
I don't give a fuck
my
about that.
My experience of it is that I was raised to eat certain things.
Oh, your mind. Like, how did your mind feel? Like, how was your like sense of feeling in your mind when you're like that?
Like when I'm fat?
Yeah, just everything. Just the whole
terrible.
experience.
It made me so when I was fat, I was extremely self-conscious about it, and I was worried that everybody was thinking that about me.
Okay, but I guess that's different because we're talking about the other people that don't care. Because there's the fat people that don't care.
The fat people that don't really care?
Yeah, I guess you don't qualify.
No, I don't qualify for that. I was always concerned about that. I was always like.
Daniel, here's the thing. Like you saw me, right? You saw a lot. Like I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, bro. Like you were never like fat, but like you were like kind of.
I was on the edge. I was on the edge towards being obese. So the thing is, I'm 5'9",
and that's
last
good. Yes.
August. Yeah, last August I weighed around 185 pounds.
That mark. Gluttonous people are like, I'm getting a little fatter now, but who cares? Let me just keep eating. Let me not change my life. You, Darius, are the exception. You are what needed. If there's Mr. Olympia and there's like you and like you becoming fat, but at least you have that mindset. Maybe we should chill out a little bit. Let me calm down. Like both of your genes are both like kind of identical, and at least mindset wise. If you get a gluttonous person.
Xander, I learned it the hard way, bro. Because the thing is, I didn't lose weight by taking the effort to lose weight. I had a medical issue all of a sudden, and I lost 35 pounds. And the type of issue, I wouldn't want to say it on this podcast, but it was basically I was not able to take in a lot of food. But however, the thing is, I do believe everything happens for a reason, and I learned why it's important not to be gluttonous. Now I go to the gym. I learned it in a very hard way, bro.
Nice.
And like I learned to control my diet. Like when I couldn't eat certain types of food that I used to eat, I used to feel very bad, but I saw the change. Like my stamina increased. I wasn't lazy anymore. I wasn't so self-conscious of how I look. I changed completely, and I continue that to this day. So it's just something that God sent in my life to make me realize, why what I was doing was wrong. Mm-hmm. And now I look at it, bro. I see a bunch of starving kids, online every day. People starving in different countries, and I look at this country, people just wasting food like it's nothing.
Yeah, it's so
sad. It's very sad.
Some restaurants, when they close, some restaurants they just throw the food away. They don't even donate or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's kind of a policy. You're not supposed to keep the food because that's like people. People will sue. People will sue
for anything.
That's how it works. Though people will sue. You can't. This country is all about suing. That's literally what this is.
So
greed and suing. That's why everything intertwines. The greed. And being able to sue people with gluttony, and just all that stuff, it literally intertwines, bro. Mm-hmm. So that's why they have to throw away the food. And a lot of Asian restaurants in particular, try to keep the food or something like that. I know my dad got sick or something one time from the restaurant. So yeah, I mean they have to. They're legally obligated to.
I guess so. But there's good points all around. Can we at least all unanimously agree that
gluttony is abysmal.
Abysmal?
I'd say it's bad.
I think it's bad.
Yeah, no, I think it's bad. I think it's abysmal. I think it's the lowest abysmal.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now we have lust and pride. All right, so I think lust is pretty easy to think.
I do believe now lust is definitely life ruining.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm talking generally speaking. I know before I was giving extreme examples, but think about this. Just look at the adultery rate in America.
It's high, right?
Lust
people are cheating.
People are cheating on each other, right? My own parents are separated because my dad cheated, for example. right? People are in this country, their prostitution level is high. People are addicted to pornography. That just destroys their life
Your mentality
completely.
too.
Yeah, I've been for a
I
while.
see.
I've been struggling with pornography. Yeah, I'm finally like pretty made a really good headway. I'm
But it's
almost
not
basically
life
done.
ruining, right?
Man in
Your life isn't
general has
ruined.
become enslaved to his own desires. He's become
Yeah.
enslaved to woman.
Honestly, like the
spending
other
money on women.
day, I was just like thinking to myself, like, holy shit! Like I never crossed my mind, but like, why am I watching Why do I want to watch two other people have sex? Why? Like, that's so stupid. But yeah, it's disgusting. It's actually disgusting.
And the
It's
issue
like-
with this is it's like a drug. Pornography, it releases
Yes,
chemicals in your
yes,
brain that
yes.
makes you addicted to it on purpose. And you see, like, you can read a bunch of reports, bro, about like how it affected not just the lives of men, but even women as well.
Yeah,
Completely destroyed their lives. It's done nothing but objectify women in society.
Mhm.
Men are just looking at women like they're pieces of flesh now.
And
They just care about their body shape.
and a lot of those women are becoming and the men are becoming a lot more mindless. Like I feel like pornography is definitely making people like dumber too, in a way. Like they're just always just focused on sex, and nothing else. They don't have anything else they're thinking about except live, get money, have sex. That's it.
And like this is also from another experience. Like anytime you go to a nightclub, right, and you see all the men over there, they're not there to just have a good time. They all want
Oh,
to
yeah,
get
yeah,
sleep
exactly.
with a woman. Let's be honest, we're men. We have these type of desires.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But they want to act on those desires. They want to find a woman to sleep with. And a lot of the times they go to these nightclubs for years. My friend, he's now 28. I don't want to take names, but he's going to these nightclubs for the last, I don't know,
Still,
God knows, 10,
He's still
10
going.
years. And he still hasn't picked up a girl, and he just spends money. It's like you're enslaved to a woman. You're
Wait.
enslaved
He's
to
been doing
lust.
this for since he was 18.
Yeah, he's been doing this since he was probably 16, bro.
Wait, nightclub 16?
Yeah. He's just been going to
Wow.
nightclubs to, and
Damn, bro.
he hopes to pick up a girl, but even then he's so shy to just
What's
even
the
talk
point
to the
of going
woman.
there for 10 years if you're not gonna?
That's the thing. People, it wastes their life. It ruins their life, and it's sad because this guy, right? His father is a businessman, and like he has so many good ideas. He's a very bright person in general. He could enhance his father's business. He has money. He could travel to other countries. He could.
Why are you going to nightclubs? Why?
Exactly.
You literally can
Why
get
are you
women.
going to nightclubs?
You can literally just work a little bit and just get free women easily. Why would you fucking?
But here's the thing, Daniel. They say good times create weak men. That people who are born into those good times, they don't develop that type of realization.
Honestly, one thing I want to say is that I feel like a lot of instant gratification things that people think is just like faster and more efficient is actually not the faster. Like, especially in this case, this is proving that point where like when you try to take shortcuts in life, like with the club thing, it actually ended up being a detriment because instead of putting 1 year or like half a year of hard work into his father's business and then getting like a woman to like date him or whatever, he tried to go to nightclubs for 10 years and he still hasn't gotten laid from that. So that just shows that like sometimes these shortcuts are actually just illusions. They're really
but guys, that this is an exception. This is one person we're talking about. Only
yeah,
one
but
person.
a lot of times I feel like that it could be like this.
No.
Because
You see, lust.
It does.
I wouldn't count lust as like something between like a husband and a wife. If it's between marriage, I don't really care because that's just one way of loving each other, right? Physical attraction, physical love. You can lust after your wife, and she can lust after you. But in this case, the sin is lusting in a wrongful manner, right?
Exactly.
To what extent does that ruin your life? I would say it's really life-threatening because
I would say it's honestly like the highest abysmal.
Say it's the highest abysmal. I don't
I want
necessarily
to say my
think
point
it's
though.
life
Can I say
ruining.
my point real quick?
Yeah.
So the thing about envy, greed, gluttony, wrath, sloth, they are all very like gray like subject matters, right? Lust, however, I mean, when we're talking about lust, it really only like entails human affection to one another. You know, like you liking somebody else, or like you like wanting to masturbate all the time. You're like it's all human.
No,
like,
actually, it's not even true because we're talking about people who like animals now. It's fucking getting really bad now.
No. Here's another
I don't
example.
count
There
them.
are applications that you can get on your phone where you just pay a bunch of money that you can just, forgive my language, but jerk off with other women.
You're right. Yeah.
Right? When people spend like for each call, they spend $10, $20, and they're thinking they're not using their brain. They're thinking with their lust. And I know one guy in one day he spent $100 and then he didn't even realize it and he had regret afterwards. And it wasn't even his own money. It was his parents' money and they worked hard for it.
I want to give you guys two perspectives, all right? I want you guys to have a perspective of a millionaire, a billionaire, and someone who's trying to become a billionaire, right? So someone who's trying to become a billionaire, if they have sloth, is that life-threatening, yes or no?
Of course.
It's life-threatening, yes. If someone's trying to become a billionaire and they're lustful, is that really life-threatening? Like, assuming they're doing it on their free time, they have like extra time to do whatever they want. Is it really life-threatening?
I would
becoming
say
a billionaire?
It is. I'll tell you why. Two reasons, right? The first reason is you're spending money to fulfill your lustful desires when you could be spending that money in investing and trying to become.
Time. You're wasting your energy and time. You know how much lust takes your focus and mental energy away? Like if you took that same energy and worked it on the business and been doing stuff there's so much more you could do. But with lust, you literally get zero progress.
People have
negative progress.
The second reason, Xander, is because if you're trying to go to become someone famous like a billionaire and you're lustful, in the long run, people all these women they're gonna start opening cases for you because they're all gold diggers. They're gonna open a case that you harassed me.
If you're like a little pig, whatever, you just fuck the fuck and some potentially rape people, whatever. You have what's coming to you. But I'm talking about and lustful wise, life, long term, right? If you're responsible, lust is honestly not even really that bad as long as you're responsible and knowing what you're doing, and it's at least threatening to your fucking life. It's only threatening maybe if you're a social media guy like Logan Paul. If Logan Paul fucked 3 16-year-old girls back then when he was a little kid or whatever, then they're gonna affect him. But if you're a billionaire, if you're Jeff Bezos, if you have that much money, it's not really going to affect you, man. So
wait,
what if you did that?
I understand what you're saying, but here I'm gonna go off of you real quick. So lust could be extremely bad, especially if say you don't even know who it's with. You could get an STD and that could be life-threatening.
That's true. But is it life ruining though? Is it life ruining?
I was about to say one more thing. Nowadays in our society, our generation, like you said, if you have control over yourself and all, it's fine. You can take responsibility. But Xander, let's be honest. Most men.
Wait. One more thing. I want to say real quick. I want you guys to think of all these sins in the most rational person in the earth. On planet Earth.
And the most rational person, I would definitely say it's probably a business at work.
No. Hold on.
No. I'm just saying. The thing from the perspective of the most rational person having these sins, because we all have these sins, right? By definition, we all.
Yeah, but most people aren't rational. Most people aren't rational. Though.
Okay, but just to try to think of it, right? What's going to be the most something you could spot out in a crowd? Lustful, I guess lustful. Yeah, obviously.
Bro, I've seen on fucking on the metro before. I've seen dudes literally jerk off on the metro before.
Well, are they lustful? Or are they just fucking crazy? Let's be real here. Come on, are they just lustful or crazy? Come on, bro.
I don't even know.
Really crazy.
That 9 to 5 be hitting hard, man.
No. I've never seen anyone in suits jerking off in their fucking corner in the subway. Never.
Yeah. It wasn't even in the corner either.
But wait. Darius was talking. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. So basically, there was this one, study that showed, I forgot the name. I'm trying to actually find it right now. But back then, when men were lustful, they would actually try to, work hard, become financially successful, become physically successful, and then try to attract a woman to get married to them.
Yeah.
But because fulfillment of our lustful desires, because that's so easily available in this generation through pornography and so many other means, men don't put that effort anymore to try to achieve be financially like successful, be physically successful, be independent, be something to attract a woman, who they could like physically have relations with, legally marry them, all that stuff. They don't put any effort in this anymore because it's already, it's on your computer screen, it's on your phone. You can just, jerk off to a woman, pay up $10, and that's it.
Instant, yeah,
right?
For
So
free.
that does put you down in your life to an extent, because a lot of men, you have to understand, a lot of men, they have certain principles. Like, you're talking about someone who's rational, okay? Someone who's rational, he has certain principles to abide by. Otherwise, he wouldn't be rational to begin with, right? Certain principles, universal moral codes, like, not having sex before marriage or outside of marriage. He's going to want to have a good career, be independent financially, right? And then find a good woman to get married to. And these type of people, they put effort in doing that. But if you don't have these type of morals and you're not rational, you don't care about it, you just want your lustful desires to be fulfilled, okay, you can just go to a prostitute, pay $400, sleep with her, whatever money it costs, or watch porn or something, and you're not even going to bother to, go above what you're already working in right now. So you don't even have that motivation to get married or anything.
Honestly, like, I've seen the other day, I was at this like Google party or whatever full of these like tech people. I'm asking these people, like, asking this guy, I was like, oh wait, we played some little like basketball in this like little like mini like arcade basketball thing. And then I'm like, yo, what do you do? He's like, yeah, he's like a little older, he's like 28 or something like that. He's like, oh, I do data entry, whatever. I'm like computer science, whatever, right? And then I asked him, like, okay, so what do you have any like goals or anything like that? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, goals, like for anything after this. He's like, yeah, maybe like become a manager. I mean, I'm just like working with numbers, whatever, man. Like, the guy had like nothing. Like, he didn't think,
no
he didn't
ambition
have
or
any,
whatever.
Nothing, bro. And I'm like, at that point, I just immediately lost all respect.
What?
For him.
Nothing to do with lust, though, does it? I mean, like, what has?
I know, but like, it could. I'm just saying that stuff, like having what you want, having, just at that point, just having that just could like contribute to just like the lack of ambition. Maybe it could be pornography. Maybe it could just be just having.
In my opinion, right? Lust is only available to weak-minded people. People like you are ironclad in their mind. They're not really lustful because there's more to life than fucking having sex all the time. And
100%, Andrew. But the thing is, most people, men in our society, we're not taught what it means to be a man anymore. We're not taught what it means.
We're not.
I agree.
And you're the whole, like, you're talking about like mainstream regular people. This is what society has done to regular boys, bro. They don't teach manhood in schools. They don't teach self-control. They teach you some other things that are not that helpful.
As a kid, I suffered a very traumatic experience in the school system, and they never actually taught me, anything with because thing is, right? So my dad would make some weird jokes or whatever. He's kind of weird, whatever, right? So I would bring it into school as a kid, and I want to go more deep into that later on when I'm like famous or whatever. But for now, I'm just gonna kind of brief it. The school system, right? I would like act a little bit, like act out, whatever. They would never they never cared, right? They never actually tried to like fix me or try to like teach me my errors. Detention, containment, pills, whatever. Like, I never actually had any mental issues, right? But the school wanted to make you think like there's a problem with you or something like that, right? They just want to contain you. They don't give a shit about you, and that's what's so fucked up, man. They don't. If they actually
mitigate, they don't try to even solve the actual problem.
Exactly. If they took fucking 5 seconds,
it.
5 seconds of their time,
go do this, go do that.
Yeah, exactly. If they took 5 seconds, if they took 5 seconds of their time to actually see what the problem is and why I'm acting out or something like that, maybe, just maybe, none of this bullshit would have ever happened, right? But hey, that's just what the school system is now. And it's even worse. It's even worse now.
It's gotten worse over the years, man. School systems don't really care about anything.
But Xander, going back on topic, this is still related to what you're saying regarding people who are mentally strong, who can control their desires. What do they teach in schools? What do they teach to little boys nowadays? They only
can't teach
criticize
that
you
kind of stuff.
if you're not good in algebra, and they put you down in your life, but they don't care to teach you about what it means to be a human being, what it means to be strong in general.
You're
They'll
right.
teach you about puberty and all these hormones, but they won't teach you that controlling, thinking rationally and all of these things is important.
What I remember when I was a kid, I remember that was like the family life education, right? Whatever it was in 5th grade. And I remember they said, "Oh, the penis and the vagina," and I'm like, "So why do people have like what is sex? Why do people have sex?" You're like, "You have to ask your parents." I'm like, "Then what's the fucking point of this?" Like, I'm like, if you're still talking about STDs, not doing all these things, right? And I'm like, so what's the fucking point?
Yeah, I want to say that I'm
like, I didn't even know what is sex.
Regarding Darius' comment about teaching, all these sins except for lust, to some degree, right, are at least taught to you in school. At least it's like a little bit, or in society, or in society. In sloth, right? Your parents say don't be lazy. Don't be lazy in school. Don't be wrathful. Don't fucking hit kids. Greed. Don't be greedy and fucking share with your fucking friends and your sister. And gluttony. Don't eat too much. Don't do this too much. You'll get fat. Envy. Do not be. Envy and lust are the two things I feel like are not emphasized enough in school society structures to be able to talk to young people. This is why envy and lust.
They promote it. They say, yeah, as long as you use a condom, you can sleep with whoever you want.
Exactly. What do you mean use a condom?
And they're promoting it in schools right now. Like my friend showed me this one kids book, children's book. They're teaching it to people in elementary school. We didn't have this when I went to elementary school 20 years ago. But what they're teaching is that, oh yeah, you can sleep with the same gender. And look, I'm not here to criticize like people sleeping with the same gender. I'm just saying that
I'm here to do that.
This kids who haven't even hit puberty yet,
Bro, that's why they say stay away from our kids. They say stay away from our kids. Why are you trying to control? Like, I remember like in Virginia, right? Like, I remember back then, like, I didn't know what it was about, but I heard later on Terry McAuliffe versus Glenn Youngkin. I heard this Terry guy was talking about increasing teacher pay. I was like, oh wait, sounds good, whatever, right? But then later on, I found out he was trying to. Don't quote me on this because I don't remember exactly. But he said I think it was like parent involvement in kids, like in kids and what they get taught is gone if that guy got voted. And thank God he didn't get voted for, but he was trying to take out all parent involvement. They was literally trying to make exact matrix slaves. Literally, they were trying to do that. It's crazy to me. Like that they're literally trying to enslave the children. But yeah,
that's the issue with lust is that it's one of those things that you enslave you get enslaved to in your life. You can't think of anything else to do that will uplift you as a human being in your life spiritually.
Honestly, like when you think about like how like Twitch simps exist, and I'm like, my mind just looking at how that is, like honestly, it's hard to even fathom that that's even real. But when you really take a look into deeper and how bad lust is, you're like, there are genuinely people that are simping for people on Twitch because their mind is literally gone. Like their mind is literally like in a complete, they're gone. Like they don't even, not even hive mind. They don't have a fucking mind. They're not brained. They're not brained, bro. Their brain is literally fucking nut. Like that image right there on the thing. That's literally their fucking brain. That's sperm cell. That's what their brain looks like.
You know this one website called Omegle? There are a lot of men who just go there. They spend hours of their life just jerking off.
Actually, with me and Battilla, we're gonna do a funny Omegle live stream when we're like going on Omegle.
Omegle ain't all bad, It's a little funny sometimes.
Yeah. No, my bad.
Guys, let's focus. Lust. Where should we put it on the list? You guys think it's life-threatening?
I think it's life-threatening.
I think it's lower life-ruining. Not as much as sloth, but I think it is lower.
You know what? You guys, your topics and all your discussion is really helpful. I will put it in life-ruining just because it's unanimous. For me, honestly, I think it's just bad. But I'll put it here, though.
Yeah,
but you underestimate.
Xander, it's bad, but generally,
Xander, you underestimate the stupidity of humans and how like they don't even have any self-worth.
I would put it at the highest level of abysmal.
But listen, bro, if someone's stupid, like any one of these fucking like sins can affect them. It's not just like one thing their whole lives.
That's true. Yeah.
But honestly, I think
if you
lust
are a
should either
competent
go.
person, and that's why I say pride for
All right,
last.
let's do a vote. Should we put lust in higher abysmal, highest abysmal,
There's
or
only two
low?
things in abysmal.
No. Listen, Daniel. Like going back to what Xander said, he were talking about how it affects society in general, like the regular people. And I agree. Like I'm talking in that perspective. I'm not talking of the most extreme case, like I did with the first two, right?
So I think higher abysmal is probably better.
I think it's life threatening because you just look at to what extent adultery and pornography has impacted society. You know, to what extent objectification of women has impacted.
I don't think it's as bad. I think it's worse than Wrath. It's worse than that. It's definitely worse than
Wrath. No, Wrath.
Bro,
listen.
Bro, Wrath is listen to me. Right now in our modern times, lust has become much a bigger issue than Wrath. Wrath, okay, people are losing control of their emotions now, but it's still not as bad as like how bad lust is. So I definitely think that lust is worse.
Saying, Fano, but I think Wrath is way worse because
Wrath loses lives. People lose their lives because of fucking Wrath, man.
Lose your lives doing that.
People also lose their lives in lust.
Lust.
No, I mean like getting killed and losing like lives like over like a little thing. Imagine, right?
They do, bro.
Wait.
Like,
imagine this.
For example, in India, it has the highest number of rape cases in the world. Men are literally raping women out publicly in the streets, and nobody's doing anything about it. They see it, they don't do anything about it. Women get gang raped. You know,
in Japan, isn't it like if a woman gets raped and she reports the rape, like she's the one who gets punished or something?
No, I don't know about that in Japan. I can't say, but
I don't know. That's what I heard somewhere. That's what I heard. That's fucking crazy. Though.
But America has like one of the most biggest rape cases in the world. So when you talk about killing people, yes, a lot of women get killed. Mostly women get killed by lust. A lot of men get killed. Look at this one example. I know this is one extreme example, but this one guy, he was so addicted to porn. In one day, he masturbated 70 times, and he died on his
I heard about that actually. 70 times.
And the other way it destroys lives is it just takes, it spiritually drains you in a way, like pornography, for example.
I guess I can't think about that because I never experienced that kind of line of thinking. I'm not a lustful person by heart. So honestly, like I really I guess I can I think that far ahead in perspective.
Bro, get your testosterone up.
No. It has nothing to do with that, Xander.
I'm kidding.
We're all like strong to some extent mentally compared to other people, based off what I've heard on this podcast. Right? We're not like regular people in America. Don't care about these things. You know what they say? I want to do whatever I want. That's what people say nowadays.
Let's say I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to do this live stream anymore. It's too controversial. It's not controversial. We're just talking like human beings. We're talking.
Yeah. So I would say, let's do a vote. Like, would you put lust?
I think lust is highest abysmal. Personally,
I'm gonna go with that. I think it's hot. Actually,
I think it's life threatening, bro.
I think it's second highest abysmal.
Nice.
Okay. I think where you had it, Botilla is
all
good.
Different. Because right now, for me.
I don't think it's as
bad as Wrath. I really don't.
Honestly, I think mine is in the middle. I think it should be higher than Wrath, personally, because I think there's just so much more. There's so much more right now. There's so much. Listen to me, Evo. The Wrath, I think, especially in ancient times, especially a lot of times, like when a lot of people got angry. Well, I mean, that's actually pride. We haven't gotten to that, but Wrath could definitely be really bad in a lot of cases. But
thing is Wrath, isn't it? It's not pride.
No, that's the thing though, because Wrath could physically destroy your life, whereas I don't see lust. I understand it can destroy your life, but it cannot destroy your life as far as an extent to being.
But you understand?
Thank you, Evil.
You understand just how much lust there is now. Wrath
no. I understand, but looking at it from a general standpoint, we're looking at it like this. I'm saying no matter on that both end of the extremity.
I have a perfect example. I got a perfect example. What's going to ruin your life more? You killing your neighbor or you sleeping with your fucking neighbor's wife? What's going to ruin your life more? What do you think?
Okay, but what
that could lead to wrath as well, bro.
But when exactly. In
I asked the question, which one's going to ruin more?
You know, even though he's generally a good person, David in the Bible, right? He actually did commit murder because of lust. He was jealous of this one chick that was really hot.
I'm not saying like after you sleep with her you get killer. I'm just saying who's love is more
killed this other guys and slept with his wife because of lust.
Xander, think about this. If nowadays a lot of women are scared to, like in other countries, let's say my country in India, they're scared to walk on the streets because they don't want to be raped. My mom is in India right now. She was afraid. She was afraid of going alone.
Wait, shut, Darius. Keep going, Darius.
Yeah, my mom is in India right now. She was afraid of traveling alone because I'm working right now. She wanted me to come with her. A lot of women, they don't go at night. Like, they don't walk anywhere at night alone in India because they're afraid of men who go and rape and kill women.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly,
bro. A lot of women don't even want to get married anymore, and a lot of men vice versa as well because they're afraid of people cheating on each other, and then it's gonna end up in a divorce, and then women would commit suicide. You know, like a woman in India, she jumped off from like one of the shopping malls and she just died. She committed suicide. Jumping off from roofs is common. Rape, being murdered is common. Think of it from a woman's perspective.
I know, but I'm gonna be realistic though. Like, what's worse, guys? Like, really, let's think about it, right? What is objectively worse, rape or murder? What is worse?
It's not about that.
Wait. I think answer the question, please. Answer the question. I want to hear.
Murder. But
Darius, what do you think? Rape or murder? What is worse? What can you come back from? Can you come back from being fucking killed or being raped? What can you come back from?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've asked this question to other women, right? If you ask my personal opinion as a man, if I was raped, I would think murder is worse. Right, but from a woman's perspective, it's different. A lot of women have told me that rape is worse than murder for them.
But guys, what does murder like stem from though? Does it stem from lust or wrath?
It stems mostly from wrath. I don't see it stemming as much from lust.
That's what I'm saying. The root cause of murder is wrath.
Time you'll get raped, but you'll still
you walk away, right? You walk away from it.
Can I offer my perspective?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so what I think is that if you're talking about, personally, I think that if you're talking about, let's say 1-to-1 ratio of it happening, right? I think at it, I think murder is a bit worse, right? But, right now, especially in the U.S. and a lot of these different countries like this in the West, lust, let's say like there's 100,000 people lusting, right? Like being and sinning because of lust, right? And there's like 50 people wrath. I think it's just overwhelmingly more right now. The lust is just right now.
The lust is too subtle. It's too subtle. You can't really see it in everyday life.
Bro, you see pornography everywhere, bro.
No. I'm talking about in the person. Pornography is a fucking it's a
but even out of those 50 people who are wrathful, some of them are impacted by lust.
Exactly, bro. Lust is so like overtaken now. It's not just like it's every sort of media, bro. If you go on Twitter or if you go on any social media, literally everywhere is porn. Everywhere is porn. YouTube, everywhere. Like literally, I can't even go anywhere.
Right? Wait. But that's what I'm saying. Like you see it, right? Is it really like harming anyone? It might be harming them in the wait. In the long term, it's harming them, right? In the long term. But think about a wrathful guy at McDonald's, right? You're waiting in line, you cut someone off in line, he fucking kills you because he's so wrathful, he can't control himself.
Like I said, the McDonald's guy might be worse in 1-to-1 ratio, but when it's like a fucking 100,000 times more. But
we're talking about human lives being lost, though, to wrathful people. Human lives are being lost.
Do you understand how many humans' lives are being lost with lust, right?
I understand.
A lot less than wrath. That's for damn sure.
All right, listen,
bro. If 50, let's say there's 50 lives.
Evil's talking.
All right, listen, Paolo, I understand what you're saying. I understand it's more prevalent, but you got to understand like which is way worse in a certain scenario.
The actual consequences.
I understand what you're saying. Like, yes, it's very prevalent. Yes, it's everywhere. But you got to understand this from the point of which is way worse. Like, it's way worse to be murdered than it is to be raped. You know what I'm saying?
I guess. But I'm just saying, like
I understand what you're talking about.
50 people getting. If there's 50 people getting murdered by another person versus a million people like losing their lives because of lust.
How do you lose your life over lust? That's the thing. Like, Darius, wait. You were saying earlier, Darius, right? People are losing their lives over lust.
Extreme degradation. Extreme degrading of their mind.
One guy who's jerking off like 7 times a day and he killed himself. That's not a common example. That's a rare case. That's a fucking idiot.
Go to Twitch right now /Pokimane. Go to Twitch right now.
Wait, Xander, you're not trying to compare lust with wrath. You're just saying in general how lust like affects society.
I'm trying to compare in the sense of the tier list, like objectively of like where lust should be placed. And I think wrath overall, wrath should be a lot more higher than fucking lust.
Because when you think about it, let me ask you a question, right? And this is, I hate to say it on this podcast, but would you rather, let's say from a woman's perspective, would you rather get shot or be raped in like a very hideous manner? Because the way women are raped in other countries is, I'm not going to describe it.
I don't think about it this way. Let's say a lot of you guys would, if you said, would you rather have sex with a man, like a man rapes you, right? Or die? You would say you'd rather die, right?
It's not lust, though. That's not lust.
Yeah, but that's the same thing. That's wanting. That's lust caused by the other person. It's lust caused by the other person. So that is lust. So would you rather get raped by a guy, pegged neuro style, or would you rather die? Because I would choose death over getting raped by a guy. I'm just saying.
You're fucking stupid, bro. Because you know what? You know what? If those are your two only options, when you die, what happens after that? What happens after? What happens after you die?
My boy ascends to heaven.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Your life is fucking over.
To be with somebody who's actually good.
At least if you get raped, right, you can get, you get out, like send to prison. Maybe go there, kill him if you want. Get revenge. Live your full life.
You have to live being pegged by another man for the rest of your life.
And Xander, you know what's funny though? That leads into pride, actually.
That's probably how women see it in a way. Not
yeah, exactly but Daniel, like you're right. But the thing is, like most rape cases are like they occur against women, and the way women are raped nowadays is very vicious. They literally use rods and steal things, and they just like
I can't comment on that. I have no idea. I've never heard of this before. This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, this happens outside of America, like in countries like India. It's very messed up.
Isn't it getting worse? Isn't it like getting worse as well? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's worse. And
I remember at one point it was bad, but I know now that it's
and you know why it's getting worse to this extent? It's because of pornography and nudity is common.
No,
people
don't believe it just being as that, man. There's no way it can be.
It's the culture of society as a whole. It cannot be one thing only. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying?
This type of stuff was not common before.
All right, so what are we like doing now? What are we like?
I'm so ironclad. You guys had a lot of good points, but I'm so ironclad in putting lust as like below envy. Honestly,
okay.
Below wrath, I mean.
I actually don't know. I feel like gluttony should be the lowest one, but I feel like I'm willing to find some middle ground. I think lust should at least be behind. I mean, before gluttony.
No.
I think where you had it was fine.
I think. Okay, that's fine. I guess whatever.
All right.
What do you think, Darius? Is that okay?
You're doing it.
Behind greed and before gluttony.
Left is higher. Left is higher.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess that's fine. If we're talking like
a little bit of a middle ground. Let's agree to
disagree. Yeah, where you've put it is basically what we're debating, so we're putting it in that region. So I guess it's
all right.
Fine.
Now let's go on to the last and final sin. I am not even going to fucking discuss this. I'm going to put it at the worst one ever. Life ruining.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Pride?
Yes.
Pride? I put it at like bad.
Really?
I really don't see pride destroying anyone's life.
Wait, Evil.
Maybe that's because I've never heard of any stories.
Let me talk. Let me explain to you why pride is the worst sin out of all of them.
Personal experience. I've never heard of any stories of it ruining anyone's life, so I don't know.
Literally, pride has ruined a lot of lives. What are you talking?
Okay.
I've never had any or heard any stories of that.
Let me give you an example at first, right? Real quick.
You can give me an extreme, yeah.
Let's say there are 7 people right in front of you. There's a fat guy. There's a skinny guy, blah, blah, blah. Let's say there's 7 deadly sins right in front of you, right?
Yeah.
You can spot all of them right away except for pride. Because, listen, imagine a slothful guy. What do you think in your head? What do you think of a slothful guy? A fat guy who's slow, you know, he's
fat
not doing
guy, slow, doesn't really know what's going
same thing with
on.
gluttony, same with gluttony, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. With lust, maybe you got some kind of, you know, TikTok or whatever, you know, like putting a lot of makeup or whatever, you know, on their face, you know, they really, you know, like they're lustful. A greedy person is gonna be the same way. They'll dress really nice. They'll like be really, really like well dressed to show their status and like the money that they have because they're really greedy. The only thing a wrathful person would be like, really like maybe like a really angry guy, or whatever, like in line. But like pride and envy are the only two things you cannot see right away in real life, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the reason I say pride is the reason I say pride is the worst thing is because pride, unfortunately, is like not identified, and you cannot measure pride at all. You can't measure it. Someone can be prideful, and prideful leads into sociopaths, psychopaths, bro, because they're fucking prideful, bro. They love themselves so much that they don't really give a fuck about society at all. So just in itself, prideful people are actually harmful not just to their own lives, but entirely society. Society as a whole.
Literally, they're like emotionless beings. It's crazy.
Todd, Breaking
Bad. All right, now that you explained it, I understand.
Yeah, I do
you explain it better. I agree with that. That makes a lot more sense. I just wasn't honestly sure what it actually meant as a whole. So you did a good job of
listen, bro. Like, let's say you're at work, whatever. Like you're playing like retail, whatever, working at a retail job, and someone makes fun of you. Like, you know, like they're like really prideful. Like, what can you really do in that situation that will like get them repercussions? Not a lot. If someone's lazy at work, you would get fired. If someone is a fucking glutton and they can't get on work on time and they're fat as shit, they will get fired. If you're lustful, hitting on your coworkers, you will get fired. If you are greedy and you're fucking taking all the hours from everyone else, you will get fired. If you're wrathful and you're fucking hitting customers and your coworkers, you will get fired. If you're envious and
you go to jail at that point.
Yeah, you go to jail.
Even worse.
You go to jail.
Yeah, if you're envious and you spread rumors on false information, you will get fired. But if you are prideful and you're actually smart and you know what you're doing, what can they do to you? Like really,
they can't do it. They can't
really do it at all.
You know the thing is,
you're dumb.
You know the thing is with like those same people that just like do that like sleazy like stuff like, you know, behind the back, and then they're also prideful and selfish, right? Like you can understand and you can see, some people can see like if they know someone enough, like, oh, this guy's a piece of shit, he's whatever. But like there's no way to evidence, like there's no way to actually get that.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Prideful people can these prideful people by definition, they are the real manipulators in this world, bro. They will manipulate. These prideful people, they will manipulate people who are lesser than them because they do not care about them.
Literally,
there's a name for this, Xander. I think it's called narcissism.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Narcissism, and I mean, honestly, not all the time. I feel like depends because, like, yeah, pride can be really bad, but also it depends on like how. Sometimes you can like contain it to yourself and just like if you're like someone who's just like kind of like a loner, right, by yourself, and just like isn't like so much and like surrounded by other people, right? Like let's say you're like your job and like what you do and everything like that, you're more alone and you have pride. It's not that bad, right? Because like you're still working, you're still contributing to society, but you're not like it's not that bad. But like I feel like if you're prideful and you're like around a lot of other people, you're just a selfish, like piece of shit human being. Like
I heard that pride is the root of all the sins in general because it's like the first sin in the Bible. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
It is true, bro.
Lucifer, right, was the most beautiful angel. He was the most beautiful angel in heaven, and like fucking like he loved himself so much. He was like, you know what? I think I'm better than God. And from that fucking that thought alone, literally that thought condemned his whole entire fate. Just because he thought he was better than God, God's God, bro. You cannot be better than God.
I think he tried to rebel, but
we like as Muslims, we don't believe he was ever an angel because we believe angels never disobey God, right?
Yeah,
but he did have a rank of an angel, and it was pride, like you said. He thought he was better than God. He thought he was better than Adam. And he thought that he was a better creation than Adam, and this is the whole reason why he rebelled. He was cursed by God, this and that. And the second example is one of the worst human beings who God ever created was the Pharaoh at the time of Prophet Moses, peace be upon him. Pharaoh, he had so much pride that he would kill people who would not believe that he was God, if they didn't believe.
Wasn't he also influenced by lust? I remember, like in the movie I saw about Moses.
No, right? Daniel, it's pride. He killed his own wife because she believed in the God of Moses, and she didn't believe her husband was God.
I thought it was different. I thought it was different because I remember in the movie, like he was gonna let them go through the water, and then his wife was like, "No, you have to." I don't remember. This is a movie I watched when I was a kid, but.
Wait, Darius, did you say a king or a pharaoh?
Pharaoh.
All right, then I'm probably thinking of the wrong person then, because I thought I knew who you were talking about, but I was wrong.
Yeah, the Pharaoh of Moses, peace be upon him, is one of the worst creations whom God ever created, because he thought, he was so prideful that he ordered his chief architect Haman to build a tower just so that he could reach towards the heavens and talk with the God of Moses. And he said, because I believe I am better than him. That's how much pride this guy had. And at the point of his death, the angel Gabriel kicked dirt into his mouth when he was at the point of, drowning between when the sea split. He was drowning and he said, okay, I repent. I believe in the God of Moses and the Israelites. But the angel Gabriel didn't want him to repent because this guy was so evil and prideful. He kicked dirt into his mouth. And the guy.
So you're saying that, like, how, like, in Christianity, if you repent for your sins and whatever, you can repent and you'll be fine, right?
No, this guy,
was just so bad.
Not sincere. His repentance was not sincere because this whole time he had so many chances to repent. Now, all of a sudden, when he's at the point of drowning at death and he sees the angel, then all of a sudden he repents to save himself.
Darius, would you associate pride with narcissism?
Yes, because my dad, I think he suffers from narcissism and he's extremely prideful, and my mom has told me a lot about the conditions.
A lot of personally about pride. It's crazy how especially in the modern times, every 7 deadly sin is becoming like prevalent in modern times. Like you see all these like TikTok kids like flexing and just being so prideful, like and literally nowadays, like, pride is so prevalent, sloth is so prevalent. You see so many of the extremes in everyone nowadays. Like you see fat people in America, you see the lust, you see like greedy people always trying to like just like have greed, right? You see wrath, right? People losing control of their emotions and not being taught how to use their control. You see envious people who are always like hateful comments and on like YouTube or like Twitter. You see sloth, like I said, lazy people, and then you also see pride, which I said like the same people that are like always flexing on Instagram. Like, bro, it's crazy.
They've all become bad. They've all become interconnected. We live at a time, unfortunately, where society has degraded itself so much that people, they don't even know what their own gender is anymore.
It's really sad. I've seen that. It's very sad that people can't figure that out in society. Society's gotten that bad to where now people don't understand what their genders are, or they don't identify as a gender. It just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it's crazy because like the things they say, right? It's just so easily debunkable and so easily like it's so bad now. Like how can someone even like think it's like so crazy because like you're like, oh, I identify as a black guy, right? So basically you have to say I'm black, and then the same guy is talking about gender identity is like, are you serious? I just watched that today. He's like, you're not being serious though. So like he's just trying to like, but you can't say that because you literally said I can identify as whatever I want, right? So I can identify as being black even though I'm not black.
Yeah, their logic is flawed. It's the same thing.
They literally can't. They're literally speechless every time. They can't even say anything.
Think about this, Daniel. 50 years ago, nobody thought about same-sex marriages. They thought it was wrong morally. Now they think it's correct, but their logic is love is love as long as it's kind of consensual.
Weird, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So think about this. If by your logic, can we say that if a father and a son want to get married and they're over the age of consent and they love each other, can you legalize like same-sex incest marriage or something between a brother and a sister? No. So yeah, love is love. Honestly, it's the same logic.
With how
it's
bad
scary
it's becoming,
you might able to be able to do that. You might
actually be able. That's what I'm saying. I was about to say that you might be predicting the future here, bro. Whoa, buddy. Calm down.
This is probably gonna happen in the future though, because it's the same logic,
Please no.
One of the worst things is coming from personal experience. Narcissism is probably one of the worst things I've seen, and it can destroy like an entire family. I've even seen it myself.
And Evo. The reason I say narcissism is the number one worst one is because
it's horrible.
The reason why it's number one worst is because first of all, you might not be able to detect it at first for the first few years or weeks knowing someone. But most of all, is that someone who's narcissistic, they might not even know it themselves. They might not even fucking know they're being prideful at all.
And also, the same people that are narcissists are the ones that have the brains, right? Since they have the brains, they're conscious of what they're doing a lot of times, right? So I know some of them don't know, but it's the one that do know that makes it bad, right? So like the people that are like, oh, this gender or sloth or doing all this dumb shit, right? They're all being manipulated by these Alexes, right? By these prideful people that are manipulating them and forcing. And it's all because of their specific advantage. They don't care. They don't care about anything else except for something that benefits them specifically. So that's why it's so bad, because they're the root. They cause all these bad things in other people.
Yeah, coming from personal experience, though, I've definitely seen narcissism like completely destroy lives. At least in the sense of personal experience that I had was going through my family and growing up. My dad, I didn't know this up until like I got older, and as I grew up, that he was a complete narcissist. But I eventually see how it like completely ruined his life, with how selfish he was. He would only spend time. Like, barely any, like, when we were growing up as kids, my dad would only work. He never did anything else to help the family. Not when my mom was taking care of both of us. She would have to cook us dinner, have to help us with our homework. My dad would never, ever fucking do it. He would never spend a moment of his time helping us with anything because he was too worried about making money in himself. And just in his own wrapped up desires, he would worry about cars. He would go on trips away from us.
That's the same thing with my dad as well.
Like he would go on car trips away from us for weeks, and I would always be upset because I never had a father figure in my life. I would always be disappointed because I never had a father figure to look up to, and I was just like, I don't understand why all this is happening. I don't understand why he's so consumed by this. That he doesn't understand what's in front of him. He doesn't understand that we're here. He doesn't understand that we need guidance. We don't understand anything like about what's going on in the world.
No matter how much you try to explain it to them, they never listen because they always think they're right.
I've tried so hard explaining to my dad what type of person he is. He just doesn't understand, and I can't fathom it. I don't understand because it's so plain, it's so obvious, and he just doesn't understand that he's a complete narcissist.
And I said that earlier, right, about how if you wait too long, you get locked in life, but also if you wait too long, you get locked in mindset as well. There's a reason why your dad didn't fucking listen. Your mindset gets locked at a certain point in life.
That's why I remember, like, even though like I don't like some of the things like from Amway. I remember back when I was like they told me to join whatever. I went and learned a little bit. Some of the things they actually taught were like pretty like useful. Like they said like about mindset. Like I mean anyone can honestly like just look this up. They just probably copy pasted it, but they said when you get locked into a certain mindset, like let's say like a 35-year-old, their mindset is already set in that. Like they're already set in that.
They're
mindset,
locked in
right?
9 to 5. There's no other option for them, bro.
They're done. Yeah, exactly. They're done. But like a 20-year-old has so much potential to change.
One mindset, like it just once he locked into this mindset, he didn't change. And for years and years, he was even devastated when my mom left him. And I understand why she did, but at the same time, he was devastated and didn't understand why it happened. And I'm like, how could you not understand? It's in plain fucking sight.
That's the exact thing with my dad, bro. Oh my god.
Like I was so confused.
It's simple to us, right? Because we're young. We're simple to us because we're young, and our minds are constantly changing. But someone who's locked, if they're fucking locked, they cannot see the same things we can see.
It was in so plain sight that I was unfathomably I was almost felt bad because I was like, I don't understand how you don't see this. It's in plain sight. Like the reason why that she left you was because one. They would argue They would argue every single day. I don't remember it as much when I was a child, but when I was a kid, I would remember them arguing. I did remember them doing that, and I remembered a lot of it would just go on for days and days and days, and they would argue over the littlest things that didn't even matter. And it just
Yeah,
Tore the
same.
family
Same with my
apart
family.
slowly.
Same with my
It's got
family. But
worse and worse. And
But guys,
worse.
literally, like,
first
they
of all,
argue about like the smallest. Literally argue about fucking pomegranates, bro. Like, come
we're
on.
off topic, guys. Come on, listen. All
All
right,
right,
the stream
all right.
is really long right now. I want to wrap it up, so we all at least agree pride is the worst sin of all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
good.
is.
All right, guys. I'm gonna end the stream now because honestly it's a lot of space. It's been an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh my god.
I wanted it to be like 20-minute long, but like obviously we got kind of heated, but it was really good, productive, and all overall.
I don't say heated, just more like in it. Like,
oh yeah, productive and all that. So I'm gonna be posting clips later on. Are you guys all okay with being posted on publicly for like TikTok?
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff?
fine. I
of
don't
course.
care.
All right, good.
All right,
I want you to
perfect.
All right, other than that, I'm ending it right now. I'm so glad the stream was so successful. I hope later on we have more people to put more input. But today was a huge W for the server, bro. Huge W.